Welcome to round one of Loud Pedal Monster Truck Season 3 here on the ROR Motorsports Network presented by TF Motorsports. I'm Thomas Frasco, joined here by Patrick, the old school fan, as this has been a long time coming, as this season is going to be full of classic monster truck racing, as we are now here at Hagerstown. It's going to be a fantastic night, Patrick.
Oh yes, it is going to be a fantastic night. I'm really excited for Hagerstown because I've never competed at Hagerstown before, but I'm going to make it a show for everyone here at Hagerstown to to definitely remember. And it's also glad to be back with the Loud Pedal Monster Trucks.
And yep, we have a lot of great competitors out here, and we're soon going to introduce some of those competitors that are here, and then we will get things underway with qualifying. So here's how the competitions will go during tonight's event. We will start things off with qualifying, and this one's crucial. Now, right now, 7 drivers have been confirmed to be in the building, but however, if this was the case where we were after, if we were over the 8 truck limit, then that means that we would have to have some drivers actually get knocked out and not race. But looks like only 7 drivers are here, so it seems like all drivers qualify for now.
Steven's here.
And Steven has arrived, so it looks like we have just about 8 trucks. So Steven, so now that you're here in Hagerstown, what's your thoughts going into this event now that you're back in the old Ghost Division truck?
I'm excited. I've missed driving it. Obviously took a little break, and I hope I can tear it up here in Hagerstown. I'm really excited to see how everyone else does as well. Of course, it's a classic track. Every tour usually comes here at least once a year, so it's nice to go back to this classic track. Also, put on a good show here tonight.
And yep, it's going to be very, very exciting here tonight. Hagerstown, a place really recognizable for some of the monster truck racing from back in the past. And it's kind of almost in the lengths, I think, of like Lebanon, where it's just really known for all that prestige. And it's just very great to see this track still in action even to today. Alright fans, it is time to get to know some of your monster truck superstars here at Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. As this is a series that is unlike any other. It is a full-on racing series with some of the top superstars, and they are ready to kick things into high gear. One of your competitors representing Devilish Motorsports, it is Felipe in see-through. A rising star in monster truck racing on rigs of rods, it is Ace Racer in Predator. From Rutland, Vermont, driving Storm Damage, it's Patrick Boynton. From Nashville, Tennessee, it's Michael in Bad Company. From New Orleans, Louisiana, driving Grave Digger, it is Cross. He is a 12-time champion in Rings of Rod's monster truck competition. First VTuber to compete in Rings of Rod's, first VTuber champion from the Bronx, New York, Gray Prower, Max D. Rising star in monster truck competition on Rings of Rods, having a strong start during the offseason, looking to try to gain some success here tonight. Garrett Hansen, Overkill Evolution. Those are your superstars that are currently here right now. If there's some more superstars that arrive later during qualifying, we will showcase some of their amazing accomplishments, and we'll introduce them right to you. Keep in mind, we'll have some new graphics made in the near future. But now it is time for monster truck qualifying. And you can see the track right here. A old school straight line racing course, which will be the same type of course that these drivers will be facing during the final event of the season, which is Champions Night 3 at Bridgeport. So here with this track, legendary style, especially showcased in events like the Pen to Point series, what do these drivers have to do to really nail this course and get great points?
I would say definitely speed is definitely key in this. If you're super slow, you definitely won't get it. But if you're lightning fast, I guarantee you'll make it out on top. And you really can't make that big of mistakes because it's really straight line racing. But if your truck rebounds the wrong way, you can definitely get off course and cause a huge crash and stuff like that. So it's definitely avoidable. But I don't think there's that much that you can go wrong with straight line.
Yeah, and I see what you're seeing there, what you're saying there, but I just wanted to mention something as well. Something that he goes quite underrated when it comes to straight line racing is actually like throttle control as well, because you got to make sure your truck lands in the right spots. You could theoretically just floor it and keep it to the floor and just hope for the best, but sometimes it just slows you down because you hit jump at the wrong angle or in the wrong spot, and then it can really send you all over the place and slow you down. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers handle it throttle-wise and throttle control-wise as well.
All right, it's time to get things underway with your first driver in qualifying round number 1. It is Michael and Bad Company they'll be starting off. As in this competition, drivers have to time it right now. In qualifying, they don't have to worry about when they leave off the line. When the green light comes on, that is not when the time starts. The time starts once they take off the line, as been rules in TF Motorsports Rings of Rods competition. And Bad Company loads in very, very soon. Seems like might be having possible slow issues, but it seems like everything has been worked out and he could pull up to that starting line. Cross already right by this right by the side of the truck, working the Christmas tree, as they say in drag racing. And he starts off his run. These times are going to be quick because of the small amount of space, as Bad Company goes and parks the truck, and will soon despawn, and we'll get the next driver out here for round 1 of qualifying 4.871 is your first time posted here in qualifying. And now, your time to beat. Next up, it's going to be Patrick in Storm Damage, who's going to try to beat that 4.871. Put up by Michael in Bad Company. Clock is ready. Now we just have everything else do its work. Here comes Patrick down into no man's land. Beautiful form.
Nicely done. Keep that thing basically completely horizontal in the air. That tells you how he's got that thing completely dialed in. That was a great pass there from Patrick.
And keep in mind, with these times, it is going to be very close to each other. That's why setting up the bracket's definitely going to be a little tough, because although he got second place, he didn't miss it by a lot. He missed it by just a little bit, 5.011 compared to 4.871. It's close. Next up, Grave Prower, Max D. He will be your next one in the qualifying competition.
Grave is known for his straight liner. He's very good at this style. Cuts the line, cuts the light, really well at the start of the race. He just has that speed to carry all the way through the course. So let's see how well he does here tonight.
Yep, and of course he has done this before too at Manchester, New Hampshire as well for both Loud Pedal and Monster Truck Federation. He has done it pretty well.
Oh, it is really, really close. As get this, Michael got a 4.871. Grave got a 4.810. That's how close this will be, as he is your new fast qualifier, but again, it was barely by anything. Next up is going to be Felipe in the new truck See-Through. Another custom truck from Devilish Motorsports, as he has quite a lot of different creations under his wing. And I think this might be a first of its kind body. Now I've seen this like Hummer type of body that's kind of similar to Dragon Slayer from Craig Christensen, but this time there's no roof and a couple of different decals. It does look like a very unique truck, something different here in the community.
And not to mention, we've also have seen a Hummer with Wasted Nights as well. Brandon Bunn's old truck as well.
Oh my
And of course,
goodness! Nearly set that thing over.
And gets a bonus hit just to go right back to the pits to tighten up some things that he needs to get that truck all looked at before his second qualifying pass, which will be during our second round. 4.961. 4.961 is for Felipe. Grave Prower still number one. Cross is your next one to qualify. And he has the honor to drive the legendary Gravedigger. And usually if you pick Gravedigger, that means you gotta do something big each and every event to live up to the name.
Handles that pressure really well. He's not really known for pressure. He's a very good driver. So I fully think he's gonna live up to that reputation with no issues.
yep, he definitely lives up to the he definitely lives up
Here we go. Qualifying continues with the black and green wrecking machine. And he is going to be your new qualifier, or fastest qualifier, 4.759. As now he has confidence going into the second round of qualifying. And for the drivers that that are not in the live call, we will push them last on the list for each qualifying round. Next up, it is going to be Garrett, Overkill Evolution, and he knew it was already his time to go. Didn't even have to wait for me, so that's awesome to see. Paying attention and getting ready for his shot at possibly being the fastest qualifier. Because again, another thing I have to point out, you're not just qualifying into getting into the racing competition, but you're also qualifying for points. So it's not just racing that you got to worry about for points, it's qualifying as well. Time coming in for Overkill Evolution, it's 4.803. 4.803. Cross still number one with 4.759. That was Cross and Gravedigger's time, still up at the first spot. But I believe with Garrett's time, I believe Garrett is now in second place in qualifying. Next up, it's going to be Stephen Butterlord in Ghost Division, your next qualifier in this competition. Yeah, back in season 1, this was his main ride that he did, as well as season 2. Season 1, he was runner-up in points. Season 2, had just a couple wins under his belt. But then when it came to Season 3, he initially was going to drive Northern Nightmare, but decided to go against that and get back into Ghost Division. Yeah, it's crazy. He has a Monster Truck Federation streak in racing, and hopefully we could see a lot more of that in the future. 4.898 was his time. Not quite enough, but still a decent run. Now we're going to skip over a few names just to make sure that we give them some time, as Ace Racer will be the next one to go in a very cool choice. I love when drivers pick unique trucks that people don't usually think about choosing. But what he ended up doing was choosing Predator from the Alan Pizzo shop. Just a very, very great choice. I really think this is also going to benefit him, because the way how that truck is set up, and from what Alan Pizzo said in interviews, that racing is definitely his forte. Ace Racer in Alan Pizzo's Predator. And we're going to have to restage him there. Had a little slight issue with the start. We'll get him right back to the line, and we're going to try again for... and just... also good to see how that chassis is set up, as here he comes down to that last jump. You can see just the way how that truck has that unique suspension. 4.887 will be the time for Ace Racer.
The way the suspension is set up on that truck kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jackster, in the way that the front end of it is kind of digging into the ground, pretty much it's the
Yeah,
most ties that day. So hopefully we'll see if that will help get it tonight for this game.
it kind of reminds me of my father's Black Stallion 2000 in the early years from.
Monty, look at the fucking
As now we are going to have Afro go next, or as he's known as Warthog in many past events. We'll have him go next in qualifying, but both Afro and Mr. Hamlin is not in call, so we're going to go have to put them on the 2 minute clock. We'll start with Afro, and then we will eventually move on to Mr. Hamlin and give him a 2 minute clock after that. And if none of them make it, well, then we'll just go right into round number 2 of qualifying. And Afro is here, and he brings out a modern Monster Jam recognizable name, and that is Thunder Roarus on that PEI chassis. Or the CRD chassis, my mistake.
correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've seen many Monster Jam trucks apart from Gravedigger and Max D. So it's quite interesting to see someone showing the Thunder Road love.
All right. And now that we have 9 drivers qualifying as of right now, this means that it's much more crucial to get a really good qualifying time, because if you're below top 8, you're not racing. And going and taking a look at the fast time that we had from Crash, we have a new fast qualifier, and this belongs to Afro Warthog in Thunder Roarus 4.690. He got to the 4.6 range, which is unbelievable. He is now your number 1 qualifier. And now we got one last driver left for round number 1 of qualifying, and that is Mr. Hamlin. And if he does not make it, then we will go right to round 2 of Monster Truck qualifying. 2 minutes on the clock for Mr. Hamlin, who is scheduled to be your last driver up in round number 1 of qualifying. Keep in mind, we also have one more round of qualifying to go before we get on to our Monster Truck Racing competition, which, of course, is our main event of the evening. But don't forget, we also have Tough Trucks, which will be right after the qualifying competition. And, of course, Exhibition Freestyles will be after racing.
Times, like you said before, Thomas, they're all really, really close. There's, I think, not even a second between them.
Yeah, let's go off the times right now, actually, while we wait for the word on Mr. Hamlin. So, Michael got a 4.871, Patrick got a 5.011, Grave got a 4.810, Felipe got a 4.961, Cross got a 4.759, Garrett got a 4.803, Butter got a 4.898, Afro, your new number 1 qualifier, with a 4.690, and Ace Racer with a 4.887. So, talk about how close these qualifying times have gotten, and they're separated by a small margin each round.
It just shows that how important this second round is going to be. Because as much as you want to gain a big gap between all these drivers, you really can't on this track. So you just have to nail it and keep it perfect the entire way through. And that's really tricky to do on a track like this.
Oh yes, it's easy to do on like Chicago style or any other racing style,
All right, 2 minutes are up. Mr. Hamlin will not make the first round of qualifying, but he still has one last chance to get to the second round of qualifying. But of course, if he doesn't make that, then he will not race. But we still have 9 drivers in the field, so one driver who's the slowest won't race. So there still is a little bit of nerve-wracking motion between some of these drivers during the qualifying competition. All right, now it's time for round 2. Michael is going to be coming back onto the track for his second attempt. In this part of qualifying, the second round, drivers are looking to try to get faster than what they did before to have a better chance into qualifying into this competition, while also trying to gain some better points. Michael, bad company. Going to the finish, 4.748. He got faster, but it's still not the fastest time tonight. But this gives him a better shot to get into the competition. Patrick, the old school fan, currently last in qualifying, so he needs to get this time right in order to compete in this competition. As currently one driver will be left out of the 8-truck bracket. Patrick, so far the one that's currently sitting in last with a 5.011. He wants to try to change that, and we're going to see if he's able to do so. This pass is the one that will truly showcase if he can make it in or if he'll be left out. 4.937. He's back in it, but we'll see how everyone else does, as this is, again, it all depends on who does what in this competition. Gray Power is going to be next in Max D, who doesn't have to worry about him getting into racing, as he's practically mathematically qualified in, but he still wants to gain points, as again, doesn't matter where you place in qualifying, you gotta do well, because this is part of your points competition. Gray Power showing off a little bit while getting lined up for his second of his 2 passes. A fan favorite going into racing. In that pass, Grave got slower, 4.981. But again, those passes are pretty hard to tell on what's slow or what's not. They're very identical in some way. But I think Grave got a little bit more air on that one. So his first time will be his time, 4.810. That's what he got in round 1. Coming up next, it is going to be Felipe once again in See-Through, your next competitor in qualifying. Round number 2 of qualifying. See-Through will be here very, very shortly. Again, let's talk about the track and just how unique it is, as with the surface, you can see the ramps are pretty close together. And as we've seen these drivers take a pretty hard ride on each part of qualifying, do you think this could lead to some crazy moments in no man's land? And Felipe was about to get the 2 minutes, but however, he has made it. And he'll be getting ready for his qualifying pass very, very shortly, as we'll also make sure everything's all caught up before we do so. And yep, timer is ready, so now Cross and Felipe can communicate and get things underway. His time got slower, 5.022, but that means he'll stick with his first time, and his first time is a 4.961. This might have been a crucial mistake. Yeah, because I could see as Cross is going to be coming up next. Currently, Felipe now has that slowest time, which, if Mr. Hamlin, well, either way, actually, Felipe is pretty much out of the racing competition because he's going to be staying pretty much in spot number 9 as everyone else faster than him already makes up the top 8. Ooh, a little hard into the pole there. 4.935 was the time for Cross, so that means that 4.759 will be his first and his fastest time for qualifying. Now we got Garrett, Overkill Evolution, who is looking to try to dominate this season. And then during the off-season events, he did a fantastic job collecting wins. He did it at the Sim Monsters Nostalgia Night in Gravedigger. He won the racing competition, and then he also went and won 2 events that were originally going to be for Season 3, but of course that's when we had to reschedule everything. And the 2 wins that he got, both at Freedom Hall and Mankato, which are 2 stops on this season, was in this truck right here, Overkill Evolution. Yeah, that truck turned in no man's land. He was pretty on an angle, and that slowed him down quite a lot. 5.115 was his second time. I'm questioning as he goes away with 4.803 as his fastest time. Could that right lane be a unlucky lane? Stephen Butterlord, Ghost Division is your next one up. But yeah, so this could be if the drivers can make it to that left lane the fastest, or if they're the fastest qualifier, then expect a lot of passes in that left lane. Stephen Butterlord, Ghost Division, 5.086. So that means that his first time again was faster. I do think that it is that lane. All right, now we go back to Ace Racer in just a moment, as Ghost Division will soon despawn, and we'll have a green light for Ace Racer to get up onto the track. And green light's given. Ace Racer is able to go for his next qualifying pass. But man, as we saw, the times drastically slowing down when they go into that banked lane, which is the right lane. But we'll see how Ace does in Predator, as we'll see if the chassis benefits him in this unique spot of the track.
Yep, not to mention it sits a little bit lower than all the other trucks as well, so that should definitely give him a good advantage.
Combine that also with the rear of the truck having a lot more suspension than the front. It has that perfect drag style racing setup. So we'll see how this does as he has a good start. Yep, it slowed down again. Good pass, but 5.078. So yeah, it seems like that other lane is giving drivers some disadvantages.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a mad dash to who's gonna get that inside lane there because it's flat. However, I do want to mention maybe it could be a bit of a thing where because there's a little bit more of a wall there, kind of another obstacle to avoid in the inside lane. If you get a bad balance and go a little bit squirrely, it could really hurt you a lot. So maybe we might see that kind of play where even though it might be slower, with the out the lane make with the race because of the obstacles on the inside of the inside lane.
All right, coming up next is going to be Afro, your number one qualifier, who looks like will stay at number one unless if Hamlin will make a pass. But Afro in Thunder Roris looking to possibly go faster than where he did. As now we wait for Warthog to get things started. And here he comes out, Thunder Roris. Warthog, your number one qualifier here in racing, definitely going to be making the racing competition, but can he get faster? Starting off nice, here he comes. Your number one qualifier. Time will come in 4.793, so that means his fastest time was his first time. That was a 4.690, which currently still is the fastest time of the night. Mr. Hamlin is still scheduled to be last as he signed up, so we're still going to give him a shot to try to get in. If he can't, then this will be it.
Something I want to mention there about that Thunder Roy's pass about his times. He actually got the fastest qualifying time in that banked lane. So maybe that lane might work for him better than the inside lane. That's the way the truck's set up.
Maybe it's the way how they approach the ramps, maybe. Maybe if you go down the hill, maybe that'll help get speed. Who knows?
But again, if you also learn to go a little bit down the bank, you got to be careful you don't miss the ramp. So it's all a lot of something more trickery here on the outside lane.
All right, so while we give Mr. Hamlin a chance to try to qualify his way into the racing competition, let's go ahead and let's recap what's happened so far during this 2-minute wait. So we have Michael, who got a 4.748. That's his time. Patrick's time, just barely qualifying into the competition, 4.937. He is spot number 8. Felipe gets kicked out of racing and will not race tonight, getting a 4.961. He will go back to the trailer. Then Grape Prower, 4.810. That's his time. Cross, 4.759. Garrett, 4.803. Butter, 4.898. Ace Racer in Predator, 4.887. And Warthog Afro, the fastest qualifier so far during this wait, 4.690. As now we have 20 seconds left before we determine on Mr. Hamlin, who signed up for this event. Ten seconds left during this wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Mr. Hamlin will not qualify. So the drivers that do not qualify into racing is Felipe and Mr. Hamlin. Meanwhile, your fastest qualifier is going to be Afro Warthog in Thunder Roris with a blistering time of a 4.690. What a fantastic run for Warthog is now. That officially sets up our Monster Truck Racing competition. But before we can get to that, we have to set up the racing bracket. So in the meantime, let's get to some tough truck action. Steve and Patrick, you guys are going to take it away here, as these superstars will be able to get into those cool tough trucks that has been posted on the server a while back. It's the one that I replied to. It is the SG Formula Truck Chevy. A very cool piece, as we've seen a few times in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it, your main event of the night. Monster Truck Racing. As you saw, 2 rounds of qualifying, and now we've officially got things all set up. So let's take a look at what will be happening. So Afro will face off against Patrick to start things off. Then Michael against Butter, Cross against Ace, and Garrett against Grave. These drivers will be battling it out in round number 1. Whoever wins goes to the semis, loser goes to the trailer. Then we'll get to the semifinals, and then the winner of that will go to the main event, the final round. And the loser will go to the 3rd place race right after the semifinals. Then after the 3rd place race, we'll be to the final round. Hagerstown, it's time for racing, and keep that for advantage. Actually, Thunder Roris actually has lane choice. So, yes, Afro, he's the fastest qualifier, so he chooses where he wants to go. Meanwhile, if this was a normal occurrence, if anybody was lining up, it would be fair game. But this time, Warthog gets to choose. He will choose the left lane. And a smart move, I think, on his part. So this pushes Patrick on the hill. So we'll see how things go, and I'll be calling the winners. Racing's underway here at Hagerstown. And it's easy work for Warthog and Thunder Roris. Oh! That's one way to go to the trailer for Patrick. As Thunder Roris. Afro will move on to the semifinals. Coming up next, it's Michael, Butter, going toe-to-toe. It's Bad Company, Ghost Division. Ghost Division in. Oh, your throttle got stuck. Ghost Division in next race. And it's Ghost Division that will go to the next round. Coming up next, it is going to be Cross and Ace racing in our next race here in round number 1. It's Predator and Gravedigger. Cheer 'em on. Who do you think's gonna win this one? Cross is ready. Ace is ready. I got it. And final, Predator. Everything's still loading here on my end. Always want to make sure things are all set before we get things started here. There we go. overkill. Max D going down. Max D with a slight advantage, and it is Max D, great Prower. Luckily for Max D, it was just one barrel roll. And now both drivers park as Max D getting ready to get things all tuned up. Overkill back to the trailer. And of course Garrett could either get the truck ready for exhibition freestyles or put the truck and head back home. As once again for exhibition freestyles, they have an option to do so. It is not something that they're forced to do. Alright, coming up now, it is the semifinals. So here's what's going to happen here. The driver that wins goes to the main event, the final round of the racing competition. The loser goes to our third place race after the semifinals has been concluded. And it looks like Afro will go to the left lane, so Steven has to go to the banked area. As remember, Afro and Thunder Roris is your number one qualifier, so that means that he gets lane choice, as that is a benefit for getting that top spot. And it's going to be Steven upsetting Thunder Roris in his Ghost Division that will go to the championship round. And Thunder Roris will be stuck at the third place race. Information being put in. Grave is about to go toe-to-toe. As we are loading in, Great Prower set at the line. He will be facing off against Ace Racer in Predator. Who will be facing off against Butter, and who will be facing off against Afro? We'll find out who goes to the third place race. Who goes to the third place race will have to stay on track. First place will have to get the truck ready for the main event. Here they come. Max D will go to the final round. Predator is now going to turn that truck right around, as we are about to see who will be getting the bronze medal for Hagerstown. As it is going to be Ace versus Afro next. Yep, it's going to be Thunder Roris against Predator. The battle of these beasts, and only one of them could be the Apex Predator. Thunder Roar still has lane choice. Alright, third place race about to take center stage here at Hagerstown. Who will get the bronze medal for round 1 of our 12 rounds here in this King's Chase? Thunder Roars with the win. Fantastic run, and coming up in just a moment, it's our final round. So everyone please stay put as we are about to get the final round ceremonies in just a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to our final round of Monster Truck Racing. We've had 2 rounds of qualifying. We've had 8 of the top fastest compete in racing. But now we're down to the final 2. Hagerstown, Maryland. Are you ready? Max D is going to be your winner here at Hagerstown. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for great power Max D. getting win number 1 here at the TF Motorsports Series. Here for Loud Pedal Monster Truck Season 3. We're going to soon get an interview from him in just a few moments. Just want to thank everyone again for an incredible first points battle. But again, as a thank you for having a fantastic first showing, Exhibition Freestyles will be happening very, very soon. So be sure to go ahead and get ready for some incredible action, no scores, no times, as that will be your next part of tonight's event. A nice little thing to kind of take the pressure off you after all of that points. Now, we're going to make sure the microphone is put on grave. Microphone is also on grave, so now we have some people down on the track. I believe we have Patrick down there, I think. Going to confirm that, yes, he is on the track, and he is with Grave Prower, your winner in tonight's monster truck racing competition. Patrick? Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Grave Prower, Max D. Ladies and gentlemen, the competitions may be done, but now it's time to have a little fun, stress-free, and as a thank you for coming out here, both for drivers and fans, it's time for some exhibition freestyles. A neat little way to have fun here at Hagerstown. I'll take a little back seat from the commentary from this point on to let Patrick and Steven have a little bit of fun. But it is time for exhibition freestyles here at Hagerstown, Maryland, part of round 1 of Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. Alright, camera's rolling, we're good. Garrett's first.
Well, I'm gonna have to go now because my internet just went out. We're having a storm right now, so
Don't worry, I got it. I got you.
till next time.
Well, I guess I'll make some slight comments, I guess.
Nice start off with for Garrett. Up on the nose. These tracks can be quite interesting. There's not really much like. Oh my gosh, you get the quite a lot of speed there. This isn't in terms of like big air hits, but there's a lot of smaller hits. Like as I said, you get some big air there. There's a nice sapper there too. You get a lot of smaller hits, follow things up with well. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's also
It's getting to really follow that range.
yeah another thing, of course, with freestyle here on Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. A huge difference with this compared to other events is that this is not being scored. The freestyle competition is he's getting some massive air and into a nose wheelie. This is all just for you, so he's not only thrilling you fans, but he's also technically getting practice because there's plenty of tours out there on the Rigs of Rod scene that has freestyle as one of the competitions that you get points in.
Oh my! Oh,
Nope.
he's not gonna be able to save it. He got caught in no man's land there. He was far too much on his side to actually pull that out. Still a great run though for Garrett.
Garrett Hansen, Overkill Evolution. Hopefully we see more of him as we get to our next event very, very soon. Now, our next competitor after Garrett gets his truck off the track, it will be, looks to be Cross, who will be the next one to compete. And we got a little technical difficulty there with Riggs. We'll get right back to it. So while we're getting back into Riggs and getting things all set up for more, let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the locations that we're going to be going to next and each date. So we just had Hagerstown today, October 30th, but we got more to come. So here is the next location that we're going to be going to, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, on November 6th. But then we get to the old Meadowlands Arena, 11-13. Then we get to Syracuse, one last event of November, that being November 20th. Then we take about a week off, and then we get back on Anaheim 2 times in a row. Anaheim on the 4th and on the 11th of December. Then on the 18th, we go to Sanford, and that will be it for December. So we're going to take 2 weeks off for the holiday season. After we're back from the holidays, 26th, competition continues. This time to Rockingham, North Carolina, as the sprint line returns. Then we go to Freeball on the 15th, and on the 22nd, Mankato Speedway Figure 8 race returns. Then Minneapolis on the 29th, and then on February 5th, Lebanon Valley, the points finale. Then we go to Bridgeport Motorsport Park in Sweetsport, Jersey 4, Champions 3. February 11th is a chance qualifier rate. The doors in the top, and we'll have to get that competition to get spot number 8. Then the main event, February 12th, that is Champions Night 3 from Bridgeport. And now we are good to go with Cross in the field.
Yeah, Cross
And yep, we got Gravedigger. And again, it's cool. He picked one of the more unique bodies that's been on Sim Monsters for a bit. And I do like this. It has a very nice little touch to it, but I'm really glad that he's also trying to stick out from the other drivers who picked Gravedigger in the past.
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoy it. Plus, we got like a legend Prima Digger mix with color scheme on it. It's really nice body style. I don't know. He's repping it repping pretty well. He's just getting something going. A lot of spins and hitting on the backside of the racing car.
Oh,
Yes,
stuck on the barrier, and he gets unstuck, and we're good to go. As I was about to get to my next question here. So with MetLife next week, that one's going to be our first non-straight line track for the season 3, which is going to be a Chicago-style racing course. So do you think drivers will struggle more there, or do you think some of the drivers that could not time it right in the straight line could get a better chance?
I think it's definitely movable. The second you got ready to go. It all depends on the drivers or which team, in the sense of which drivers like turning and which ones just like getting it the line as fast as possible. Of course, because not pulling boxes takes a lot more time to actually make up the ground you lose at the start in Chicago style than it's a straight line racing. So I'm really excited to see how all these drivers handle it. Me personally, I love it. I love Chicago style, so it's gonna benefit me a lot more. So personally, I'm excited for it, and I'm pretty sure lots of people are. So far.
Man, look at him go. He's keeping a lot of speed. And I got a question. Do you think that this could be a little teaser for him doing Chicago style racing?
Possibly. Oh my! Still allowed. Yeah, he basically drifted the entirety of turn one there, heading into the infield.
Man, this is vintage Gravedigger. Even though that this isn't scored, he knows he's got a name to live up to. And Dennis Anderson, regardless if he was being scored or not, he would thrill for the fans. And heck, freestyle started when Dennis just wanted to do more for his fans. Oh my god.
That was so beautiful. That was absolutely spectacular. Goes for the moving donuts, and then just runs out onto Niels Milton. That's the first bicycle, full sidewall basically.
That was
What a great
that was insane. I gotta say that was incredible skill. And yeah, this truck definitely suits him. I think more than any truck that he's driven.
I agree, and also in the way the truck actually handles, just by looking at it, you can tell it's very
What? What was that?
we have not seen the front flip in this to since I did it in West Lebanon back in was it season one? What went wrong there?
I got nothing.
I was I was not ready for that. I I actually just forgot what I was gonna mention. That completely threw me off my train of thought there. That was a spectacular flip. That's what you call second job.
Somehow we
I think he's still going. I remember what I was gonna say now. The way just looking at the way this truck handles, you can tell it handles very similar to those. Big turn. Oh my goodness.
There we go. Now he's done.
Exactly it.
Now he's done. Oh my god, what a run.
That was an incredible run.
Yeah, I can see some.
Glad this isn't scored because I'm not sure shit might be able to top it. Maybe any other drivers can hold that track.
Yeah, I think with the way how that truck handles, it is kind of similar to Ghost Division in some way. But I noticed your truck actually is a little bit lower towards the ground on the front. Alright, coming up next. Coming up next in Exhibition Freestyles, although he just could not qualify into racing, this doesn't mean that he will not Exhibition Freestyle, because I know that he usually loves to do this and he's excited to thrill the fans. It's Felipe and See-Through. He has a name to live up to and he's going to do it right now. Again, look at that beautiful looking truck. The see-through Jeep body. Definitely a nice little unique piece. Yeah. Oh! That was violent. That was also pretty violent. Oof. Yeah, that. Yeah, just the way how that truck just got carried and just got pulled right in from that inside barrier. That was definitely a pretty painful landing there. And the part that made it, yeah, the part that really made it violent, I think, was when it just pulled straight in. As now we're soon gonna get our next run in just a moment. So yeah, we got several different tracks coming up for the new season. What do you think's your favorite racing style that we're gonna be either seeing or what we've already experienced in the past? And now we're about to get our next freestyle in. It looks like it's going to be Predator that's out in the pits. I can see from here. Yep, it is going to be Ace Racer Predator, who is out on the track. Look at him doing his stuff here. Nice, great jump to start things off. Little jump there from the Van Stack. Nice slap wheelie. You can see that he's got a very unique setup with that truck. As he goes on over now. Man, look at him go. Just really nice distance.
Yeah, no, it's been a great job so far. One thing about tracks like this is gonna be no matter what kind of hurt you, we have to go from the outside to the infield like what he just did. But he's doing a very good job keeping up with that as well.
Across thread.
Nice up over the barriers. Oh my! Up and over. He's gonna save it. No, he's not gonna save it.
What a crazy hit.
What a
Oh, that's a highlight.
what a roll over.
Oh,
That's incredible. What a great roll over for Predator.
give it up for Ace Racer and Predator. And coming up next, he is your racing winner, and he's looking to try to continue the success coming up in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey next week. And it is Great Power Max D. As we're gonna, looks like he's gonna be having a little bit of a celebration, and he actually swapped bodies. He won in Max D. Now he's gonna thrill the fans and the fans only in the old school Maximum Destruction paint. He's gonna run the track in a little bit, give the track prep guys a little bit of some less work, because that stuff, it takes a long time to keep the dust down for the big block modifieds. Look at this guy go. I can just hear Tim Pitts at Orange County Fair Speedway just saying, "Oh baby, baby," if something crazy happens on the track. That's if I don't hear that, then yeah, there's something missing. And that's only an inside joke if you've been to Orange County Fair Speedway in Middletown. All right, here we go with Grave. Yeah, I think this also showcases that Grave. I think it also showcases that Grave's truck is just built for speed. I mean, we've seen this in the competition. Although his qualifying did not go the way that he wanted, the racing competition went perfect. But this will be interesting because points will be updated with the next couple of days, depending on how time goes. But once we get the points updated, we'll see how things are. Because as we've seen some drivers didn't do well when it came to qualifying, but some did great when it came to racing. So we'll see how things go when we get to this point. Oh! I think he's going to be driving out of it. There we go. He's good. Oh, no, he's stuck here. Oh, easy. Oh. There we go. Uh-oh, Grave, Grave. Oh, and now I think, oh, there's some lag now. I think maybe some of those hits might have damaged, maybe his computer. Great Prower, maximum destruction, your racing winner. Giving the fans a little bit of a thank you. Oh,
Oh, into this time. But, oh, again, that's just like Felipe. That's gonna hurt. He's spinning as well. That's gonna be some major whiplash.
yeah, just the way how you go from that amount of speed down to 0 is definitely painful.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
All right, now Grape says he wins by pinfall. And yep, we're just gonna wait for Great Power to get off the track as well before we get Bad Company all set and cleared. Once again, this has been a fantastic night so far, as we've had, of course, great racing. Alright, now the camera is going to go on to Bad Company, and just to make sure everything's all set. Alright, Bad Company, set, ready to go. Michael. And of course, see this great looking piece. Nice way to start things off here in our exhibition freestyles as they continue. Also, an update has just been shown on the Loud Pedal Monster Trucks official Discord server. So, if you're in that Discord server, look at announcements, which will give us a little bit of information going into next week's event. And once again, thank you to some of the drivers who gave feedback to make this event go better and better each time, as your feedback means everything. Nice. Classic jump over the clutch car, slap really. It's crazy, like with the exhibition freestyles, they expect people to kind of take it similar to a like a normal independent event, where you're just doing some nice hits, don't want to damage up the equipment too much, but these drivers are going all out like they're trying to go for a freestyle win. Oh, what about that flip? You were saying about a flip. Also, a little information outside of the event as he goes for a bicycle. Mother Nature's back with more storms in my area, so hopefully it holds up for the remainder of this event. And again, we hope Patrick's internet comes back, and that's not gonna be. Give it up. Oof, but yeah, still give it up for Michael and Bad Company. Another great run in exhibition freestyles as we wind down the remaining amount of drivers who want to do exhibition freestyles. Again, not every driver has to do it, but it's only the drivers that want to do it that can still have a nice little run. And it looks like we have, I believe, 2 drivers left that want to, that are in game as far as I can see. As now we wait for one of the drivers to spawn, it looks like we can see the frames go down, which means one is spawned. It is Thunderoris, the one who won the qualifying competition. As he is good to go. He won qualifying. He placed 3rd in the racing competition, so I bet that he's going to be very high in points. I think he might be first, but we'll have to wait and see. Nice little photo op for the fans. And again, if you have any photos from our events, be sure to go ahead and post it at Event Photos, which these are both for the TF Motorsports Series, which goes on until February, and of course, Grave Prowler's part in Wild Pedal Monster Trucks. And yes, of course, I just want to remind everyone that once the TF Motorsports Series is done by February with Champions Night 3, Grave Prowler will take over from spring into the summertime, and then the TF Motorsports Series would be going into its fun off-season events to build up to Season 4, which is the plan for 2026 going into 2027. So it's a neat little concept, 2 different tours in one promotion. Little venture between me and Grave. Hey. Yeah, currently Grave has it as all. Oh my god! Oh, look out! Not gonna be able to save it. He almost had it there, but still. Great wild moments there from your qualifying winner, Afro and Thunderoris, who is definitely going to be a huge key player when we get to more events with MetLife next week. As he's going to get ready to park that truck and despawn, we'll have our last one up. And as I was saying, Grave Prowler currently had a name for it, and that was All Out Clash, but he might be changing the name of that tour. So with Loud Pedal, right now it's the TF Motorsports Series, but once that concludes, then it's Grave's tour. And they'll continue on with his little point series. And we'll figure out either it'll be on the RR Motorsports Network or Grave's channel. We'll keep you updated on some of that information when we get closer to it. Alright, one more to go. It is Stephen Butterlord Ghost Division, your last one up in Exhibition Freestyles. Once again, this event has been sponsored by ROR Motorsports Network and Buffalo Chicken. I got a Buffalo Chicken. What about you? We're still figuring out a tagline for that. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh! Yes! Beautiful save. And again, he's got to watch out for that van stack. Playing it smart, going all the way to the next part of the track. Just taps the wall in turn 1. And a beautiful slap wheelie. This is your last freestyle. Make some noise. Oh my! Are you kidding me? That's gotta be the most violent wreck we've seen ever. Give it up for Stephen Butterlord and Ghost Division, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in live here on the ROR Motorsports Network for Loud Pedal Monster Truck Season 3's kickoff at the one and only